You're watching The 7 from WATE 6 on your side.
Good evening, I'm Bo Williams and welcome to The 7. Let's get a look at the Big 7 stories tonight. At the top of our list, dozens of animals taken from a home where someone was supposed to be caring for them. Sadly, not all the pets survived. Animal control officers found the dogs, cats, guinea pigs, rats, reptiles, and one bird at a house on Laclay Drive in Halls. Young Williams Animal Center says it received 38 animals, but 5 were found dead. The Knox County Sheriff's Office says charges are pending in this case. We spoke to a group who left their animals in the care of the homeowner, learning there were more incidents beyond those animals found on the property. While these pet owners got their pets back, there were issues as some were injured or sick.
Found that she had zip-tied the kennels together, Luke and Jackson, the red and black lab. They had identical cuts on top of their snouts, and we assume that they probably escaped the kennels and pushed their way out after being left for so long, and she zip-tied them to keep that from happening again.
I was just really shocked at the news. This was someone I welcomed into my life. This was someone I welcomed to handle and take care of the dogs that take care of me, and the fact that she would allow 5 animals to sit deceased in her home concerns me.
Young Williams says the center is caring for those animals, evaluating them, and providing veterinary treatment. They are planning to share updates on the animals. Of course, we'll keep you posted. Meanwhile, the Knox County Sheriff's Office putting out a statement this afternoon saying they are investigating. They are also asking the public for patience, promising to release the facts as soon as possible. Now, the statement goes on to say, quote, "We take animal abuse or neglect seriously and will always seek justice on their behalf." Moving down our Big 7 at 7 list for you tonight, decades in prison over a deadly shooting on New Year's Eve. The man facing that sentence, Tatarius Southern, had already been convicted in January of second-degree murder in the shooting of his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. The case takes us back to a New Year's Eve gathering along Country Hill Lane in the final hours of 2021. The DA's office says Terrell Kemp was celebrating New Year's Eve with his girlfriend and her 2 children. Southern is the father of one of those children and had been invited to the party. Prosecutors said Southern made an unwanted advance on his ex-girlfriend, was asked to leave, then got into a fight with Kemp. Ultimately, Kemp was shot twice. At trial, Southern claimed he was acting in self-defense, but prosecutors said that one of the 2 gunshot wounds Kemp suffered was in his back. Our next Big 7 story for you, the Lieutenant Governor now responding to questions about his comments on racy Instagram posts. State Senator Randy McNally, a Republican representing Oak Ridge and part of Knox County, has been facing scrutiny over comments on a young man's Instagram page. Our sister station in Nashville has been digging through comments made by McNally's verified page as far back as 2020, and they are hard to square with his voting record as a social conservative. Here's one post he commented on of a nearly naked young man. He left heart and fire emojis, writing, quote, "You can turn a rainy day into rainbows and sunshine." On a similar post, McNally comments, quote, "Great picture." Today, the Lieutenant Governor said he simply tries to encourage people through his comments on social media. Our state capitol reporter asked him if he feels hypocritical commenting on these posts while voting in favor of anti-LGBTQ legislation. Here's part of his response.
And I thought that a marriage should be between a man and a woman. And I still kind of feel that way. But I still have friends that are married. I'm not against those individuals. And I just, try to encourage and support individuals that I know.
When asked if he thought anything his account posted on Instagram was inappropriate, McNally said, quote, "Maybe I should have been a little more careful in my selection of things," end quote. The young man in those pictures is identifying himself as Franklin from Knoxville. We heard from him after the controversial comments started circulating online last night. He says McNally added him on Facebook and Instagram in 2020. He also apparently sent Franklin compliments by direct message, but the 2 never met in person.
To me, I'm not a stranger to compliments, so I don't really read into them because I think that's just kind of wrong to just assume that somebody's hitting on you just because they're nice to you. He did not say he wanted to date me or have sex or anything like that.
Franklin's Instagram isn't the only profile that the lawmaker kept up with on social media. His account also liked pictures of transgender individuals in Tennessee. As for McNally's voting record, here's a sampling of some votes on LGBTQ issues in the past. He voted yes on a couple bills banning trans athletes from competing as the gender they identify with. He also voted yes on letting people refuse to share bathrooms with transgender people. He wasn't present and didn't vote, but argued against a bill that lets adoption agencies deny parents based on religious exemptions. But he did vote yes on a 2016 bill that lets therapists decline services based on religious exemptions. Moving now through our Big 7 list, a guilty plea in a deadly crash. The Knox County District Attorney's Office announcing that Andre Tomas pleaded guilty to vehicular homicide by intoxication. That plea will come with a 10-year prison sentence. The wreck happening in May of last year, prosecutors say the Honda Civic that Tomas was driving crossed the double yellow line on Bruin Road, hitting the motorcycle so hard that it was split in half. Tomas tried to run off, but was caught before he could reach his brother's home nearby. Investigators say Tomas had evidence of marijuana and cocaine in his system, and his blood alcohol level was almost twice the legal limit. The man on the motorcycle, Sharif Ahmed, died at the scene of the crash. Friends and a co-worker at a Porsche dealership told us Ahmed was a motorcycle fan and worked his way up from washing cars to becoming a certified technician. The DA's office says Tomas will be deported after he serves his sentence. Tragedy growing in our next Big 7 story for you. One person is now dead. Another person is in a Nashville burn ward after last night's fire at a house in Knox County. Rural Metro Fire getting the call around 10 o'clock last night, responding to a home in the 4100 block of Governor John Sevier Highway. Since this morning, we've learned the victim who died was a woman. The one who survived was a man. Also, firefighters say the man was found outside the home. He was said to be in critical condition and is now at Vanderbilt Medical Center's burn unit.
We never like to have injured people from a house fire. We kind of feel like that's a fail on our part, us in Knox County, because from the prevention side of things, we didn't do a good enough job maybe helping them prevent a fire. But we don't know what all the circumstances were yet, so it's hard to say.
Deputies are still working to contact family members before releasing names of the two victims. We'll keep you posted on that and the cause of the fire, which is still under investigation tonight. Next here at 7, we're hearing about plans to talk out the conflict over Blount Memorial Hospital. That mediation is slated to happen in less than a week. Ahead of the meeting, we're hearing from the hospital CEO. Now, we've been telling you about the months-long clash between the hospital and Mayor Ed Mitchell over the facility's future. Mayor Mitchell started negotiations with UT Medical Center for a new management contract earlier in the year. Then last month, Blount Memorial sent a cease and desist letter to UT Medical warning that the hospital system could be liable for getting in between the county and Blount Memorial with a contract still in place. Blount Memorial CEO Hal Naramore, who seems confident going into negotiations.
We're going to go into that and try to bargain and negotiate in good faith. And hopefully there can be some sort of settlement or process reached where we can move forward and get back to the business of health care. And, you know, I think the target should be to get an agreement that's good for the community, for the county, good for Blount Memorial Hospital.
Naramore told us Blount Memorial has seen a 5% increase in revenue since the start of the year compared to a 3% increase in expenses. He points to continued improvements as proof that current management should stay in place. Court paperwork shows the mediation will start March 14th and wrap up by April 3rd.